Greetings, everyone. My name is Thiru, and it's an honor to be here at the Microrbit Conferences 2026. Today, I want to explore something deeply human, mindfulness, in the age of AI, and how we can lead with presence in a tech-driven world. We are living in an era of extraordinary connection, but yet paradoxically, we feel increasingly disconnected. Technology gives us speed, but it can rob us of our stillness. It gives us reach, but sometimes it erodes our relationships. This talk isn't about slowing down productivity. It's basically about how to see clearly, decide wisely, and lead compassionately. So let's begin our journey towards mindful leadership in the AI age by looking at the roadmap ahead. Let me briefly outline our journey. Firstly, we'll explore the human paradox of the AI era, why we are more connected than ever, yet often internally fragmented. We'll examine the human cause of acceleration, burnout, stress, and decision fatigue, and what happens in the brain under AI speed stress. And we'll confront a critical question: when AI makes decisions, who remains accountable? So basically, the first part is about awareness. Then we'll move on from awareness to action. We'll redefine mindfulness as clarity, focus, and resilience, and we'll explore how AI and mindful intelligence can work in synergy. And we'll translate this into daily leadership practices, from mastering the pause to building psychological safety. We'll end at the sweet spot where humans and AI operate in harmony. So now, let's begin. Think about this. We can send data across continents in seconds, but yet we struggle to truly connect with the person sitting next to us. We have smart devices in every hand, but distracted minds in every meeting. This is the human paradox of our time. We are digitally connected, yet emotionally disconnected. And the bridge that reconnects us isn't another app or algorithm, it's mindfulness. It's the ability to be present, aware, and intentional even as the world accelerates around us. Let's see why this bridge called mindfulness has become more important than ever in AI-powered workplaces. In AI-driven environments, data moves faster than thought. We face endless dashboards, alerts, and decisions, often made under intense time pressure. The result is that we face mental fatigue, emotional overload, and reactive leadership. Mindfulness restores this balance. It gives us the ability to pause, process, and respond rather than react. It's not about doing less, it's about seeing more clearly. When leaders lead mindfully, they make decisions with clarity, empathy, and purpose. But what happens when we don't? When speed replaces stillness? The cost is human and it's high. Burnout is rising, stress is persistent, and many leaders operate on emotional autopilot. We automate efficiency, but we can't automate empathy. We scale performance, but not presence. Mindfulness brings us back. It restores our ability to connect, to listen, and to lead with humanity. And that begins with understanding what happens to the brain during stress and digital acceleration. Neuroscience shows us what high-velocity environments can do to us. Stress, the amygdala hijacks decision-making, and we become reactive. Cortisol spikes, reducing our ability to stay calm under pressure. Executive function declines, strategic thinking narrows. Even empathy decreases, which affects psychological safety. But here's the good news. Mindful breathing activates the prefrontal cortex, restoring balance and flexibility, and a single breath can reopen strategic leadership. And this is exactly why the next slide matters to me personally. There was a season in my career when stress was intense. Everything was moving fast, and I felt the weight of expectations. And I realized if I keep running at AI speed, I will lose myself. That's when I rebuilt through deep breathing, visualization, and learning to be fully present. The breakthrough wasn't dramatic. It was one small choice to pause, and because that pause restored my gravitas. Not because life became easier, but because I became clearer. Now let's widen the lens to what happens when AI makes decisions for us. We have seen AI-driven hiring bias, algorithmic prejudice, autonomous systems making critical trade-offs without human oversight, data processed without understanding human nuance. So the question is, if AI optimizes for efficiency, who optimizes for humanity? Technology can assist decisions, but responsibility cannot be automated. Accountability remains human, and mindfulness strengthens that accountability. So how do leaders lead markets through complexity without losing themselves? Visionary leadership requires clarity, not just speed. So before we go further, let's do a quick reset, a leadership pause. Close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, notice the tension, observe your thoughts, and release. That's not meditation, that's leadership hygiene. Because leaders who can pause can perceive, and leaders who can perceive can lead markets with vision. And that takes us to how leadership itself is evolving. Leadership is evolving in many levels, from the reactive operator to data-driven executor to the emotional intelligent leader. And now the next level, mindful AI integrator. A leader who can integrate technology with humanity, speed with wisdom, and data with discernment. But to reach that level, we must address the human strain that acceleration creates. The World Health Organization classifies burnout as an occupational phenomenon. The AI-related digital fatigue, Zoom exhaustion, decision fatigue, and if we don't intervene, we build high-performing systems and depleted humans. Mindfulness becomes proactive leadership, protecting cognitive capacity, culture, and well-being. So what exactly are we building when we say mindfulness? So basically, mindfulness is not about sitting cross-legged in silence. It's about being fully present with yourself, your team, your work, and your moment. It's awareness without judgment, clarity without confusion, and resilience without rigidity. When leaders are mindful, they can cut through noise and focus on what truly matters. They recover faster from stress and lead with balance even in uncertainty. In essence, mindfulness transforms chaos into clarity. Now imagine what happens when this mindful intelligence meets artificial intelligence. AI excels at processing data. It's fast, efficient, and relentless. But what it lacks is context, compassion, and conscience. That's where mindful intelligence comes in. When we combine AI's analytical brilliance with human awareness, we create synergistic leadership, where decisions are both smart and soulful. That's how we ensure technology serves humanity and not just replaces it. And that synergy begins with mastering mindfulness, not once a year, but every single day. Leadership is not what we do occasionally, it's who we are consistently. Mindful leadership is built through daily habits, pausing before reacting, breathing before deciding, listening before leading, and these moments of awareness sharpens our focus, builds trust, and empowers teams. It's not about adding something new, It's about doing what we already do, but with full attention. Let's start with the simplest and most powerful habit of all, the mindful pause. Before you make an important decision, take a 10-second mindful breath. That pause resets your mind and centers your emotions. It turns reactivity into reflection, and a single breath can change the entire outcome of a meeting because a calm leader inspires calm thinking. In a fast-moving workplaces, that's not a small advantage, it's a superpower. Now, let's bring mindfulness to one of our biggest sources of distraction, our digital world. Technology is meant to serve us and not enslave us. But constant notifications and alerts keeps us perpetually distracted. Mindful leaders set boundaries. They silence noise to amplify focus. And the main message is control your tech or it will control you. When you manage your digital environment consciously, you reclaim your most valuable currency, which is attention. And when you protect your attention, you also create space for renewal, even in the busiest of days. Between meetings, take 2 mindful minutes to breathe. Just inhale deeply, exhale slowly, and reset. These micro moments clear mental clutter, restore focus, and build emotional resilience. In a 10-hour day, 2 minutes may seem insignificant, but it could be the difference between reacting and responding, between exhaustion and excellence. Mindful leadership is also about creating spaces where others can thrive through psychological safety. When people feel safe to speak openly, innovation flourishes. Mindful leaders cultivate environments of trust where people can disagree respectfully and contribute authentically. Psychological safety isn't soft, it's strategic. It builds resilience and creative and high-performing teams. And it starts when leaders listen with presence, not just to reply, but to understand. So how does mindfulness translate into real leadership excellence? When leaders lead mindfully, they make better decisions. They stay calm amid chaos, navigate uncertainty with clarity, and foster empathy that binds teams together. In an AI-driven world, human presence is the ultimate edge. It's what inspires trust, builds loyalty and performance that no algorithm can ever replicate. And this leads us to the future that we should aim for. The future isn't humans versus AI, but it's humans with AI. True innovation happens when logic meets awareness and when data meets discernment. AI brings precision, mindfulness brings purpose. And together they create harmony, a world where technology amplifies, not replaces humanity. Let's visualize this connection through a powerful metaphor, the human mind as a bridge. Imagine your mind as a bridge spanning 2 worlds. On one side flows the powerful current of AI, fast, intelligent, and ever-evolving. On the other side stands the calm, steady ground of mindfulness, rooted in awareness and compassion. As leaders, our task is to walk that bridge every single day, balancing speed with stillness and data with discernment. That's how we stay human in a digital age. So what does this mean for the leaders of 2030? Let's look ahead. By 2030, AI will be deeply embedded in every sector. And the question is, will AI replace thinking or amplify it? Will leaders optimize for speed or wisdom? Will culture become algorithmic or human-centered? The leaders who thrive will be those who slow down internally while accelerating externally. That dual capacity will define the next decade. And that brings me to one line that captures this entire message. AI may be the brain of the future, but mindfulness is the heart that keeps us human. This is not just a code, it's a calling. Technology will evolve, but humanity must deepen. So how do we bring this insight into action? As leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers, the world doesn't just need us to move fast. It needs us to move consciously. Embrace mindfulness as your compass in this AI era. Pause often, listen deeply, and lead intentionally. Let awareness be your edge and presence be your power. Because in a world of automation, presence is your ultimate leadership advantage. And so I leave you with this final reflection. Thank you for taking this mindful journey with me today. Let's build a future where technology serves humanity and mindfulness strengthens leadership. Thank you, and may you lead with presence. May your leadership be guided by both intelligence and insight, and by both the mind and the heart. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.